como con B. What's up, locos?
Hi, guys.
We are back in action like the Looney Tunes again. Another day.
Guys, our
Hustle
guest is
talk.
sober today. Ya lo regañamos.
Al otro.
Anyway, ¿a quién trajimos
Más,
ahora?
más, más, más.
Who's here, Caimán?
¿Quién?
¿Quién? ¿Quién
Today we
vino?
have Miguel Guillen. He's a what? A traffic engineer for the city of Oxnard. From the strollaway to City Hall.
To City Hall. Wow.
Yeah. De las pinches calles pa.
Ya ves, los cholos sí saben progresar, unos.
Yeah. Uno que otro, güey, porque todos a veces.
Caimán como que apenas anda queriendo.
Hey, we were talking about that with Miguel. Like, hey, yo me puse las pilas, güey, a los 35, so tú estás bien. Hey,
You're late.
how?
You're 36
Estás
already.
bien, güey, tú. Yeah.
No, it's true though.
The experiences.
Después de viejo, yeah, like it's already like ya cuando you're old.
La pinche viruela que no existe, o sí, o nomás en México.
That's chickenpox.
Oh, pero se llama diferente. ¿Es el chickenpox?
Te iba a decir una palabra, pero no.
¿Qué? ¿Pendejo?
No.
Ya.
Ched.
No sé.
Ched.
Quesito.
Queso.
All right, locos. So thanks for tuning in. We have another addition to our
Yeah.
fucking display. Our
Caiman's
show.
been working really hard, guys. Y nomás me manda fotos and I'm like, yes,
Working
no,
like a
you're
real
whack.
Mexican, porque luego dice, no, que yo soy la jefa. ¿Cuál pinche jefa?
Pues sí, ¿a qué horas llego? Cuando yo quiero.
Y ahora sí llegaste temprano, 2 minutos,
Wow.
pero llegaste, güey.
Guys, ya casi no llegaban, like, van a estar pedos otra vez. Ya
All
no
right,
voy a ir.
all right, Miguel, ¿qué cuentas, loco? A ver, ¿dónde naciste? ¿De qué planeta eres? Where do you come from, bro?
Origin story? Yeah, well, probably from Oxnard. I was born in Ventura County Medical Center, like a lot of us were, like Danny was. And then I was brought to Oxnard. Bottom line, I spent a little bit of time in Island Acres, maybe a year or two.
As a baby or little kid?
Infant, maybe.
Infant.
Little baby. And then Cuesta a little bit. And then we ended up in the projects. Like
where in the projects? Dolores?
Dolores Court. A lot of my neighbors, we know them from the
So you grew up in Dolores?
I grew up in Dolores. I spent a little time in Dolores, and then eventually, like in my teen years, we ended up moving to. I don't know if you guys remember Amelia Court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Senior Citizen Center was there.
Ahí es donde son todos los cholos.
Oh, so you were a project boy.
Project for a little bit, but I spent a lot of my time on the 300 block of Colonia Road with Javi.
Oh, okay. So you were more in that side versus
I was a product of the projects, but there was divisions. There's
always there's always been divisions, huh?
And then I ended up going over there to Javi's house all the time. I clocked a lot of hours in that.
Oh shit.
126. Yeah, dude.
Pues para que te sepa la dirección, sí, güey.
Yeah, pues ahí, you know what I'm saying? 3 times 6 was 6. Yeah, we were out there, and then we were like Danny. We went to the GATE program, the Gifted and Talented Education Program. We were like,
so you guys were smart.
Entre comillas, I remember when I was in Juanita school.
Entre comillas,
eran cholos inteligentes.
I remember taking this math test back in Juanita. It was called the Big 100, or I forget what it was called. And then if you did good on it, they'll give you what they call principal's recess. I'm like, fuck, I did it.
Oh yeah, I do remember that principal's recess thing.
Damn, you did good. Principal's recess. I went out to the playground. Fucking nobody, dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you were the only smart kid?
Ay, mira.
I mean, not like that. Not like that.
Si era inteligente.
Sí. Don't judge, fool.
Never judge a book by its cover. I know, mi papá me enseñó eso.
I mean, not too crazy. I wasn't unique. There's a bunch of us out there, but this is like my story, right? Because we all got our story, And then, boom, they wanted to move me to Rose Avenue, where this school was at, like in 3rd grade. But I ended up going to Mexico City. I spent like a month out there, so like they kind of like backed everything up. And then I ended up going in 4th grade. And then, boom, high school hits. I'm in the honors program from 4th grade to high school. And I get to high school, go to Romesa. Y valió madre, dude.
So back in the days, the only high school they had to go to was Rio Mesa. That's why that's the reason why a lot of homies went over there from Colonia.
Point was, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was either Marquita or Juanita. And then everybody on the other side of, west of that street, I think it was Marquita. they went to Oxnard High.
Oh,
Correct me if I'm
What
wrong.
the?
Yeah, the old one or the new one, whatever. And then I went. They bused us to Real Mesa. So a bunch of us, they would take all the people that lived in Rose Park Colonia. They would take them early in the morning, drop them off first, and they would get there first, and they would pick us up first.
so how was life
Would
like?
they pick you guys
Okay,
up
but
right there by Parque
So
So I remember those buses.
so
Sí, sí, era puros
por donde
troublemakers
llegaba al
ahí.
Frontier Bus o por dónde?
I remember with the Frontier. I never went
By the library. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
by the library,
By
yeah,
the
by the
library.
Colonia library.
Yeah,
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 right there. Pues ahí donde es the Chumash.
yeah,
In
yeah.
Chumash area, right there, and tantos los señores ahí.
Sí, sí.
So
Chumash.
I was gonna say,
Sí,
where's
sí, sí.
that?
Sí,
What?
sabes lo you
Sí,
get.
yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. So yeah, and then I'm like, shit, I don't want this for myself. And then I transferred to Oxnard because really it's like too much.
Okay, but let me ask you something. So, how was it going to Rio Mesa coming from Colonia?
It was just a school, man. I didn't see anything different. That's all I knew. So
You didn't have no issues with people out there?
dude, come on.
That's what I want to know.
Come on, man. It was like, dude, I remember the first bell didn't even ring, and it was already like what they would call rumbles, right?
So it was everything was
It was
just
fucking crazy, dude, and a bunch of like, you're talking about troubled youth, a lot of troubled youth. People are trying to like, get in trouble, get in fights, they're doing drugs, all this other shit, whatever you can name it. They just want, how it was, dude. All the cats we grew up with, we all just wanted, the thrill.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a bunch of kids with testosterone. We want to get in fights, fucking feel the fear, feel a little bit of fear, a little bit of adrenaline, and then that's my dude. It's a story as old as time, dude. Like the song says, dude. Back in the days in Rumas High.
So that was like the worst thing they could have done to you guys. Send you guys over there.
What
See,
it was?
but I'm pretty sure they knew it could create problems, and they still do dumb shit or what.
It's just it is what it is. This is what was accepted. This is how the city was created, dude. Because if you think about it, the city is like highly segregated. Like I didn't realize it until I heard somebody else say it, an outsider. We're driving around the city. She's not from around here, and she was telling me, "Yeah, fuck, why is there walls right here? Why is everything separated?" And if you look at the history of Oxnard, we're fucking separate. We're on the other side
Yeah.
of the tracks. That
Yeah.
Track shit means something.
Oops.
This time it's not.
Otra vez.
Not the
Otra
weirdest
vez.
time.
Ahora.
What happened there?
Oh man.
Guys,
What's going on?
he's
now?
not drunk. Es un ghost que anda por ahí.
Hey, his fucking goes from last week.
You know what? This is karma right here. He's sitting on the other side today.
Oh,
You
shit.
guys.
What?
Casper, behave.
Yeah, living.
A1.
Yeah, came to support you. This is how you supported him last week, huh?
Too much.
Too much.
Support.
Look at what can be. What's wrong with you, B?
Oh, shit.
What's wrong with you?
They're
B?
trying to be all low key acá. Allá lo están viendo, yo creo.
Nah, they're good.
Se van a caer las pestañas, güey.
Sí, a ver, jálatelas. All right, Miguel. So tell us like memories you have from the neighborhood growing up right there, like how it has changed from there to now.
From there to now, before there was buildings, now there's nothing, dog. It's fucking tore down. But yeah, the projects, the old school ones, like the 50s and shit, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
So that's one main thing, physical, that's changed. As far as what I experienced back in the day, maybe and I think about it, right? Would I want my child to experience this? I want to say absolutely not.
Not.
I will do everything possible for the next generation not to experience this because this was unacceptable. It was a lack of culture, in my opinion, and it was irresponsible for us to harm children. By say us, I mean when I was a child, there were things being perpetrated by older generations that I will never expose a child to, and I thought that was, in retrospect, that's very unacceptable, right?
Yeah,
But in the moment, I thought it was normal. Hey, people.
because you grew up in that environment, so you see it normal, right?
Hey, if you're in a pigsty, dude, you're gonna get shit on you.
Yeah,
Type of
yeah.
shit, so it's like, all right, me embarré un poquito,
Yeah.
ambiente, and then I thought it was normal. But yeah, just to be specific, of course, you've seen crimes being committed. You're as a child, you're getting pickpocketed, you're getting stuff stolen. There's illegal activity going on everywhere, and assaults, and childhood coercion and all this other stuff. And crime is normalized, so we think it's normal. And then our elders, they're showing us that for the most part, not entirely, but those is proliferated and throughout the neighborhood. It was normal, dude, for our goats, our greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are coming out of prison. I'm like, oh my god, that guy, I don't want to be like him. In our fucking stupid mind, we put glory to that. With that shit.
You glorify stuff like that, huh?
So just to get to that, like, yeah, there was a bunch of
Okay, but,
shit.
but if we go back talking about culture, all this has to do with culture, right? The way we're raised ever since we're little kids.
In my opinion, yes. I think that whatever we accept is what's normalized, and that hence is
But you
culture.
know what's crazy that sometimes when you want to be different, they look at you like you're less and stuff. Especially being in that environment, and you choose another route, like, oh, stay away, fucking punk ass fool and this and that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
should you just take it, or what do you suggest?
For that, it's just like, hey, dude. At the end of the day, for me, it's like, okay, where do you want to push yourself to the limits and break that mold that we came from? Because you got to think about
Yeah, but it has, like, we have to show them, right?
yeah, we have to. Kids pay
Yeah,
attention, dude.
yeah,
Kids
yes.
pay attention. So I remember when I did there was this program they're doing for like junior high students. I forget, it was right there in the PAL, and I participated as part of the college. And there was this one dude, I talked to everybody. All the kids were following me, dude. I was in like my early 30s, late 20s, and then all the kids were following me, and I told them, like my stories, my personal story, and they all followed me. And then one of them ended up freaking going to prison, whatever. They followed their own lives, and there was this one kid who, like, years later, I'm like, saw him using his Twitter. I'm like, look at this kid. I remember. He's like, yeah, I remember you. He remembered. So
Oh shit.
what that taught
You,
me,
you you made an impact in that kid.
kids are listening, dude. They're sponges, and they're trying to pick game. They're like listening to us. If you tell them something, they'll remember it, dude. You'll fucking move on. You'll have your life. But how when you have a kid, that's like the greatest measuring stick of how fast time is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You're
yes.
like, God, that is
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh shit,
yeah.
time's
From one
going.
day to another, how you see a big difference.
So this adult man came up to me, told me, "Oh, I remember you," and then apparently, whatever I told, I just gave him, game. I just gave him
Yes.
my experience, and he valued it, and then he had stuck to him. So yeah, the future matters, dude. The next generation matters. It's up to us what they become. If we teach them something that's garbage, well, we're gonna net garbage, or
Yeah.
we're gonna need these outliers. There's gonna be outliers who are gonna become something else, and they'll grow out of it. But for the most part, young minds are impressionable.
Yes.
We need to teach them good shit. We can't teach them it's good to mistreat, our significant others. We can't teach them that you know crime is normal, and I hate to say it, but the gang culture is just a road to to to
Failure, you could
to
say.
failure, dude. Bottom line, like I remember a homie told me one time. He told me, and it stuck to me. He told me, yeah, you were working. He told me, yeah, there's a problem with the hood. What is that? He's like, it doesn't have a retirement plan. I'm like,
It does it.
damn,
No.
you're right, no fucking
Yeah.
way, no.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, damn, I need a retirement plan. I better do this type of shit. But yeah,
Okay, has the growing up in that environment, did it affect you a lot
of course.
with your life? Can
Of
you
course.
can you tell us
Well,
how?
yeah, like for one, it took stuff from me, and
What did it take from you?
well, if you really think about it, like as an example, it took my friend Javier, right?
Yes,
That's
yes,
a very tangible example.
yes,
What took him was the gang culture.
yeah.
It was a dude from who knows from where, and they shot him, and he died. Gang culture took my friend, my best friend, dude. So there's that, and it took my freedom at one point because I was acting, as a result of that, and I thought that was normal. I got caught up in the system for a little bit, not a lot. Just it wasn't like years or anything. I didn't go to prison or anything. It was misdemeanor, but yeah, it could have turned into that. But I had to be proactive not to let it go to that, to like felony stage, right? So yeah, it took a lot from me. It pigeonholed me, because right here in Oxnard, we're in a little bubble, dude.
Yes.
We're in a bubble, and we have our own little culture here. And frankly, this isn't the world. The
Yeah.
stuff that we fucking value here, you go a few miles up to the south, and it doesn't mean anything, dude. It's irrelevant, and you're a clown.
Yep.
Not you in specific, but not to say, not to minimize anybody's lifestyle or anything. What I'm saying is, it doesn't mean anything over there.
No, yes, yes.
So, or anywhere,
I saw an interview by Nipsey Hussle, and he said, "I'm over here. We're over here trying to kill people that look like us."
it's freaking ridiculous,
And it's
dude. It's
true, right?
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just think about it. If you act on the behalf of
That's crazy because it says you're trying to hurt somebody that looks just
It's
like you,
true.
like you, and it's like it is.
But like you said, that's what you learn out in the streets. But I think it starts at home.
100%.
See, we had that we talked about that with Daniel last week. Since with sports and everything, it starts since
It's
they're kids.
yeah, but it starts at home with your
It
parents. It's
starts
not
at
that
home, and
it's your
then
parents' fault,
start getting them involved into.
because
No, but you know what it was then. Our parents were at work, dude.
yes,
From 6 in the morning to 5 p.m., six
yes,
p.m. We
yes,
had all this freedom to do whatever the
yes.
hell we wanted to do.
I agree.
They would come home. They didn't understand the language. They couldn't help you with your homework.
Mhm.
They couldn't do nothing for you, but just go to work, buy food, give you clothes, and hopefully you could
Mhm.
go to college and become somebody. That's everybody's dream.
Yeah, but I think right now the kid who's a fuck up,
It's
it
by
is because
choice.
of the parents. No, it's because of the parents. Because a lot of us, like you say, a lot of us have jobs who let us keep an eye on our kids. A lot of us have
Especially now you
a
have you
life.
have this.
Yes. A lot of us own businesses y no le trabajas a nadie, so you have the freedom to stay home or to keep an eye on your kids. Like you said, there's phones. You could track your kid wherever they're
You could
at,
try,
see
you
what
could
they're
call,
doing.
keep in touch with them.
Like, you've already lived through
But you
like
know what? I think we need to have a connection with our kids too, so they could trust us with
yes.
other issues.
Yes.
Because
That's
if
true.
we're always complaining, and then let's just say they tell you, "Hey, mom, dad, this happened, this and that," you give them shit, dude. They're not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So
I
that has
agree.
a lot to do with it too,
I
on
agree with
how,
that.
Yeah,
I
right?
agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a huge responsibility being a parent or being the adult in the room, right?
Yes.
Believe it or not, like I mentioned earlier, they're paying attention, so we have to set the standard,
Yeah.
and then the bar, we have to set that, we got to set it high.
Yeah.
And then, sure, we may not, all of us, we not all have the same abilities, but
Yes.
we have to give them the tools they need to succeed. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to thrive and be successful.
Yeah.
But we need to give them, our, input as a father, as a mother, because the mother gives the child something that the father can't. The
Yep.
father gives the child something,
That the mother can,
and
yeah.
together, that's the only, in my opinion, I think
It
it's the
takes
best way.
two. It takes two to raise them,
Yeah,
right?
that's normal, because you know it's that's the image they're gonna model all their relationships in the future. So if they see el tóxico or la tóxica at home, then that's whatever the opposite gender is of that. Like if it's a girl, they're gonna see tóxico. That's what they're gonna look for in her.
Yeah.
Or that's what they're
Yeah.
gonna think is normal.
No, it's
And that's
true.
true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a huge responsibility. That's
It
why
is.
I personally, as part of this little journey we'll call my life, part of it had to do with forgiveness, right? Because I didn't have the
Yep.
best parents at home. You know, by that I mean my dad was a drinker, he was abusive and all this. But you know what? I forgave him, and that set me free. I forgave him early, like in my early 20s, and that fucking set me free, dude. And
Do you have a good relationship with your
I
pops?
love my dad. My
That's
dad
good.
loves me.
Yeah.
I love my family, dude. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I love. It was important because, he taught me definitely what I shouldn't be as a man. That's what I learned from him, and how not
See,
to
but
be.
you were able to intake that and turn it into
See, but
something
not
better, right?
everybody learns from that.
Yeah.
A lot of people use that as
They
an excuse
they
to be
keep
a
doing it.
piece of crap.
Yeah, it's either a lesson or a blessing, in my opinion. Either you make it into a positive or a negative. It's like, and the way I try to approach everything is the cup is half full. It's never half empty.
Yeah.
It's all about, the saying is not where you're from, is where you're at. But what's meant by that is like in your mind. In your mind you have to, like, okay, I was told I wasn't going to succeed. Well, I'm going to try harder, and I am going to succeed.
Yeah.
In my life, in my home life, it was tumultuous. Well, it's going to be up to me to make it not tumultuous and make it into a happy home.
Something
So
else. Yeah.
that's just, to going back to growing up in the neighborhood.
Look at talking about that. Sorry for interrupting you. I remember you told me back in the days. You remember the gang injunction, right? A lot of us. I was in it. I remember you told me this, that I think they had banned you from the city or some shit like that. You had to move out of the city because of that.
Well,
Algo así recuerdo.
I felt that way. Well, going back to my experience, right?
Yeah.
High school happens, and then we get into our 20s, and then it's like in the early 2000s, and then injunction hit, and then around the same time, my friend got shot and paralyzed, and then I got sucked into this by association. Because I don't know if when I don't know if they still do it now. I don't know if law enforcement has changed much, but at that time they used to do like these FI cards, right?
Yeah, they still do that shit. They build a foul on you and
They're
shit.
like, oh, he's wearing black shoes,
Yeah.
he's whatever,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
hanging out with don't.
No way.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, I should have brought that. I have like records of all that
So
stuff.
even because of that,
That before
Wow.
that's exactly how I got on the gang junction because they would pull me over with gang members. Según they would make it, boom. They put it in a file, and then okay, we have enough. Boom.
no
They used to
cierto. You said
give
in the
that
other
shit.
episode que era porratero.
No, the gang junction has nothing to do with Yeah, it has nothing to do with that fool. The gang junction we're talking about.
And then I got put in that. I got put in that. I got served. Boom.
Your generation was probably one of the first ones that got served with it, right?
Yeah, we were the first ones. We're the first one because I didn't get. You know how they revised it and put a second one? I got put on the first one, and then I fought that shit. And I had already had that first charge, the one it was they're all misdemeanors, but it was I got one charge. I got free, and then they hit me with that shit, and then I was wearing a cowboy sweater, fucking nice one. It was a super nice one. I was like, oh man, I got pulled over. I had a truck like this guy has, like a exact one like this.
Yeah.
GMC. Pulled me over right there on what is it, Eliza Court, right there. Pulled to right. Boom. Like, oh shit. And the cop just retired recently. I was looking for him, but I couldn't find him. I wanted to thank him for doing that, but I got thrown in jail. And then boom, I fought that thing, and I got involved with these like community organizers, which God bless their soul, but honestly, it didn't help. And I remember they took me, and I fought it, dude. I went to court and everything. That went on the stand. Believe it or not, I went on the stand, and I to prove that I wasn't a gang member. And then I had a plan. I was gonna say I'm not a gang member, and they tried to back me into a corner. They're like, "Oh yeah, what about this person? This person's a gang member. Would you agree?" And I'm like, "Wait a fucking minute." I'm like, "No." And then I remember they try to corner me and get me to fucking snitch on people. And then there's a documentary somewhere. I don't know where the fuck to find it at, but in the end, they fucking the I didn't fucking cooperate with them on the stand. They tried to get me like to fucking
Yeah.
They like took me off the plan. The plan was I'm not a gang member, this and that. Boom. They're like, all right, you're fucking. It remains. I didn't help them.
They didn't help you, huh?
They didn't help me. And they're like, all right, boom. And I'm like, damn. And I remember going into a room with the deputy district attorney, and the deputy district attorney told me, we're gonna give you 1 year formal probation. If si la libras, you're good. 1 year later, la libre.
I went to jail twice for gang injunction, dude. For once for curfew, and once for hanging out with somebody else. I was actually on my way home. You couldn't be out after 10.
Pero no era por eso, era por burro.
No,
If they're telling you not to go out after
dude,
10 and you're out after
but
10,
how the
and
fuck can they tell you can't be out?
you're a kid, of
How
course
can
you
you?
can.
No, I was already an adult. I was 19, 20.
Ah, wow.
No, but according to
Yeah.
no, for reals. And I went to jail for that. I think that was bullshit. So it's a good thing that it's not here, because I think they gave law enforcement like kind of a little bit of too much power over our freedom and stuff.
But to be honest, was there a gang problem back then? Yes or no?
Yes,
In my opinion, it was a little harsh.
because it was wild.
I was
It
just gonna-
yeah.
I was
It
just
was.
gonna say, si así hacían lo que querían, and they would do that to you guys. Imagine if they would have let you guys do whatever.
No, but in
without
reality, I
consequences.
think after that shit, kind of did switch the whole fucking game, because a lot of people wouldn't even want to come out as much.
Well, that was the whole
Yeah,
point of
yeah.
that. That was the purpose.
It worked out. It worked out. But when I cleared that, then that's where my journey started of trying to like turn the ship around. I was, basically what happened was as a result of all that, I had to get the hell out of the city, right? It's just things were not good. It was like a bad vibe. I'm not gonna say the city, kicked me out, but it sure felt that way. And then what happened later was further substantiate that. But I'm not gonna go into specifics about that. But I moved to Ventura, and then the Alphabet Boys showed up, and then it was part of like a movement they were doing, right? Like a little operation.
Yeah.
And they went to my house, they didn't find shit. They're like, oh fuck, well, I guess he's not. I guess he's not.
So, but how the fuck did you end up in that mess?
I don't fucking know. I have
If you have no connection with
I have
that.
conspiracy theories. I have conspiracy theories about it, but I don't know exactly what happened. But I think in general, what came out of that is that I had to like turn the ship around, completely when I felt like I got kicked out of the city, right? I felt like I got ran
So was
out,
that surprising to you when they came knocking on your door?
dude.
Because obviously you were making a change, and
Back in the days, like because I was like full in recovery mode, I lost a bunch of things, everything just like everything got stripped, boom. And I'm out there, I'm like, getting this construction job. I was building fences and shit. So like I usually will get up like around 6 in the morning, but this was like a 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, something like that. And I just hear like pow, pow, pow. I'm in Ventura, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm in Ventura, what the fuck? And I go out and I'm like, I got my
that don't happen here, huh?
Yeah.
and I go out and I'm like, what in the world are these guys doing here? What's those 3 letters on their back? And then whatever. And then one of my coworkers, he always come by and pick me up, or we go together, we'll get coffee. And he's like, "Oh, this is probably Miguel's friends." He said. And he looked and he saw the letters. He's like, first,
Keep going, huh?
I'm
Vámonos.
out." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, and I went to work that day. And he's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Call me Mike." What happened, Mike? I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck happened. Like that's just crazy. I couldn't put two and two together." Later on, I found out. I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "But why me though? Like I'm not that special. I'm like I'm just a guy. Like what the fuck? I didn't do anything.
You really had no connection with whatever they were looking
I
for.
was already far removed, But I
Yeah.
think the intent of that was to prove that there was, a contingent of people that even if they were adults, fully grown, moved on, that they were still connected. It was like a RICO type thing,
Yes.
racketeering, organized crime type of thing. But like, I was far removed from that. I was like, nah, I'm trying to like break away from that. I'm trying to, do something with my life. But yeah, that all that happened, and then I was working these different odd jobs and shit. Boom, here, working at this fucking factory here, working factory there, and then some fucking at some point, some engineers got in my ear. They're like, "Hey, dude, come check it out." I'm like, "I'll check it out. I'll see what they do." So when I remember going to this lab and shit, I was at I'll call it. I was at Haas Automation. This was Daniel was working there.
Mexican Shrek.
Yep. And then there's a lot of cats I know from there that are solid, and I remember one of the engineers, he like pulled me to the side. It was a white boy. His name's Brian. Let's go over here. I want to check it out. And then he showed me what he was doing. He was on a fucking computer. He reading emails. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm over here.
You're like, I want to do that.
I want to read
I want to
emails.
read emails.
So he's going like, yeah, let me show you what I do. Boom. He took me to a lab with a bunch of Haas machines. And he showed me a door. The Haas machines are like, they're pretty big. Some of them, the large VF. And they have like sliding doors and shit. And they have like resortes that hit them. And he said, yeah. And he showed me a catalog with resortes on it. He's like, I'm like trying to find the right K factor, which all it is has to do with the how stiff
The spring is?
the stiffness of the spring, and that's like calculations. So that's what little calculations. And I'm like, oh fuck, mind blown, boom. And then with some of my coworkers, they were pursuing engineering. And I'm like, oh, let me jump on that shit. And then I jumped on it, and then I'll take a class here, a class there, fail one here, fail one there, fucking stop, go again, and then I fucking got the degree.
So you went to university for this, or?
I went to CSUN. Yeah, I went to CSUN. Yeah. I went to community college.
And this was when you already in your 30s, right?
Dude, I was already in my 30s. I skipped a bunch of stuff, but I kind of like leapfrogged a little bit. But yeah, what ended up happening is this took place like in my 30s, right? Because in my 20s me la pasé cagando el palo, fucking up with that.
Yeah.
Siendo un pinche idiota, bien hecho,
Yeah.
At Gumby's. And at Gumby's, who wouldn't want to go to Gumby's?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
That was yeah. So we were just having a good time to my detriment, to be honest. And then I'm like, you know what? I gotta do something. I can't be. How old can I be doing this shit? I'm like, and then I pensar. I remember when, because for a while I did construction, and I remember waking up. I'm like, fuck, I got like 40, 50 more years of this shit. It's like, fuck, this is gonna be a bitch. Vámonos, and then because I did construction, that shit was bad though. I did framing, fucking love that shit. And that's when I think my 30-year-old self, right? Because at 30s you think, yeah, the ship sailed, and then but I thank that motherfucker, that 30-year-old Miguel, because that motherfucker changed my life. 40-year-old Miguel was like, boom.
Do you feel like a lot of that change happened because you left the city?
Part of it, yes. Part of it, yes. you know what? What happened? The big change was I surrounded myself with different people.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
and then I lived up. Keep in mind, I just maybe like 2 weeks ago moved back to Oxnard after like 20 years of not living here.
Oh
Oh
wow.
Yeah,
shit.
this happened around 2005 when I moved out. When because I lived in projects, we got the told to leave, and then we I moved to Cypress, and then I'm to Hill Street, and then I ended up moving to Rose Park Apartments, and then PD got involved because there was like a chase somewhere nearby,
Mm.
and my brother had a camera, and then PD pulled up to the house like, "Hey, we want some camera footage." But when they opened the door, they saw who it was. Like, "Oh shit, oh, man, I know you guys."
Oh
And then like a week
damn.
later, we get an eviction notice.
Oh shit.
Damn. So that's when we hit the ground running. And we left the city, but you know what? It wasn't so much that I was living here as much as the people I surrounded myself with, right? Because then I ventured out, and then I started, other people started kind of, getting in my head, giving me ideas,
Well, to ideas to be better, like
just ideas, to
or
different venues,
to do different things.
to different things, because engineering, like, tell me, do you know what an engineer does?
No.
What exactly do you do then?
Oh, I do traffic engineering.
But what does that mean? Like, what exactly do you do
So traffic
in that?
engineering, traffic engineering. So what I do with that, it has to do with like standards, right? With the road, is for example, the signs, the striping, always stops, and I'm starting to touch signals a little bit too. So anything that you're on the road, right? You see a warning sign that tells you, hey, there's a curb ahead, or
Okay.
whatever, there's a sign placement, where it tells you, there's a not a warning, but a regulatory sign that tells you
Yeah.
speed limit, and what goes into like establishing a speed limit, because you can't do it because that's it's, what's the right word? Litigation. Just a word for it, but litigious subject, right? It's a litigious subject. It has to do with like cities getting sued and shit. So it's just you get a ticket. There's traffic engineering embedded in it because why is the person getting a ticket for speeding? Well, that's tied to the
Oh.
engineering survey, a speed survey that's done that examines how many.
So you guys decide the speed limits too, or
Well, we don't decide it. The really what's decided by that is the data.
the data?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
on.
like what is done is they collect data, the
So everything's
volume,
based on data. So that's what they
hundred
come up with.
percent data driven field. It's all about data. Yeah. So what's interesting about the job is that I didn't even plan to be a traffic engineer. Because when I went to CSUN, the program had a little bit of structural, right? Structural, because civil engineering. I got my degrees in civil engineering, but within that branch, there's transportation, there's water, anything water calculations, waterways, and all that. There's wastewater, which has a little more chemistry in it, and there's structures, and I may be forgetting one, but I think that's it. And so CSUN doesn't have a program like that for traffic engineering. And then I'm like thinking, yeah, I'm doing all these calculations and doing this project, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a structural engineer.
Trying to start building shit or
and
what?
then and then I started getting to the field, and I landed in Oxnard, and then right here there's like traffic engineer. There was a position open. I got into it. I'm like, man, this is dope, because it's live. It's not. No, in order for your work to show, is like almost instant. Because
Okay.
traffic?
No.
You don't drive in traffic?
I do, but I
You do
mean,
know traffic. You drive a car?
yeah.
Yeah.
You drive a car?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know the signs. If
Yeah,
it says
yeah.
red, you
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
that means.
Yeah.
If you see a sign that says stop,
Right.
right? So everybody knows traffic. Everybody's in the street. Everybody's stuck at a red light, and it's like tangible. Is you see the results like this, dude. If something that change happens, you see it, boom, and then you get public feedback, and you're able to get like, oh, all right, it works. It doesn't work.
So is the public really involved in this or not?
Hundred
Not really.
percent.
They are.
100%. Yeah, yeah. I'm a public servant.
Oh, okay.
Don't get that twisted. If you deal with anybody within a local agency in a municipality, those people are public servants. They're at your behest. You live in the city, they're serving you. But we don't know, because going again to culture. Oh, pues,
Yes.
¿qué vamos a hacer? Nah, dude.
It's true. These
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
things
Sure.
that a lot of
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
didn't know.
No, pues quién sabe, no sabrá, no,
¿Quién
pues, no,
sabe? Sí.
no sabrá.
Ajá.
Nah, dude, no manches,
El airecito de la
It's
Virgen de Guadalupe,
true.
¿verdad?
And I mean, I'm learning this stuff, and I'm like, seeing, I'm like, all right, and then that's where this whole subject about neighborhood councils, because what I do, as a traffic engineer, I make, let's say you say, oh man, this intersection is dangerous. Oh man, you guys put it always stop. In your head is like, makes sense. Why don't you put it always
What?
stop?
Yeah.
And then you look at the whole picture and you're like, probably not a good idea. But I can substantiate it with data. I can't just tell you no because I'm on my high horse. I interface with the public. I go to the neighborhood councils. I talk to everybody, and the neighborhood council chairs will attest to this. I'm not making this up, and I'm not trying to uh, paint a picture that's not true. This is a fact because I reckon
Everything's are recorded, right?
yeah, there's minutes and all this, and then you'll see it. If you Google these the minutes from different neighborhoods, you'll see my name, and on some of them, not all of them. And I'm involved because you know what? I love the city, dude. I love the city. I love working with people. Bottom line, that's like I think that's very gratifying because on one side, yeah, the city, I'm employed by the city to do traffic engineering. And that's my public service, and the public trust me with it. They trust me.
Yes,
I'm gonna make a
Mhm.
good decision.
Yeah.
What's in the best interest of the public. Sometimes the right answer is a no. Like some, they
Yes.
want this, but I'm like, you know what?
It's not a
No.
good option, huh?
And I've had instances where I tell people no, and they're like very passionate, but I don't just say no and I'm on my high horse. I don't make none of these appointments. I don't do any of that. I'm like, just come to City Hall, boom, and I pull out, and then I tell them, hey, yes or no, and this is why. If it's a no, they leave. Oh, thank you, Miguel. Why? Because I explained it to them. And you go to the city.
So you can't just say no, right? You gotta make them understand the reason.
Well, legally, you're supposed to. This is very. I'm just going based on my assessment. To a certain degree, you gotta justify everything, and you could say just no. But people want to be.
They gotta be able to understand too, no?
Yeah, just you gotta
Be able to explain
you
yourself
gotta
too.
explain yourself. Yeah, but bottom line is just no matter what you do. I don't know what you do for a living. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you do, whatever it is anybody does, we're all in the people business.
Yes.
Yes.
100% of us.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I recognize that
That's a fact.
and then I'm like, you know what? I'm for the peoples, eh?
It's true
No,
though.
yeah.
It's
'Cause
true.
everything we do in reality is to serve the people.
Bottom line.
But you know what? There's a lot of people que I'm pretty sure, like he's saying right now, he explains himself porque quiere more than he has to. I'm pretty sure there's other people that do the same thing you do, and they're just like, no, because I said no, and that's it.
You just to the T what you just said.
It's true.
It's a fact. You just described scenarios.
And it's like, ¿qué vas a hacer? Nada. You're gonna go to him
He's
and
the
you need
one
to stop saying
that's
here.
up here. So
He already
says no,
told you
it's
no. What are you gonna do? Nothing.
Okay, can we read some comments real quick, cuz?
Yeah.
A ver si hay chismosos o no.
A ver quién llama.
Volviendo a la gente.
Sí. Nah, nah.
No, this is, you know what? Sometimes maybe ahorita se les hace
This is
como
still
like
game, homie.
les
Today you
hace
got
como
game for
like-
us, dog.
como esto que, but I think this is like very helpful and important information. that-
Especially when it comes when we go back to our culture.
es que nosotros, guys,
Están
we
todos
come
ciegos
from
los
families
güeyes, ¿ah?
que estaban bien ignorant. A lot of them still are.
Yeah.
There is comments.
What do we have?
Danny Galvan, órale, Josecito Mogi.
Se me quedó aquí máquina, la-
Alejandro Rodriguez, can't really hear the guest.
¿Cómo no?
I-
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear him, so it's your TV or your phone don't work.
Uh-oh.
Ivan,
If not, put it closer.
Ivan Torres, shout out my boy from El Olmeco.
Oh, yeah, that's my boy right there.
Let me see.
Um,
Let me check the mic real quick.
Another person says, speaking to the mic more, my G. No se oye, Miguel.
Thank you for the feedback.
Can whoever's watching right now, can you guys let us know? Yeah, somebody else can't really hear.
All right, my bad.
A ver.
That was probably on me right there. Though.
No.
Le hizo falta la cerveza.
Nah.
A ver,
Blame it on the.
can you guys hear him now or what?
I
Blame it on
think
the
you're
Henny.
loud. He's not.
Can't really hear.
You put your volume up, not his.
No, I put his.
Yeah, I just need to be closer to it.
No,
Okay.
I think it was that fucking thing.
Ah, shit.
Acaricia el micrófono como acaricias la novia.
Nah,
Hey,
last time I
if
was-
you guys are watching, can you guys hear him? Yeah, see now.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
Sorry about that, guys.
You guys missed it. Súbale el volumen.
Híjole.
Si no otra vez, we'll run it again, man.
Ah, fuck it, let's do it.
So, ¿dónde estábamos?
Yo aquí.
Ay, ay, ay.
Pinche vieja y sus
Yeah.
cosas.
¿Para qué
Pues
me
les digo.
invitan?
Pues, digo,
Si ya sabes cómo me pongo, ¿para qué me invitan?
está fun.
It's not fun. No,
You would
yeah.
be so bored without me here.
Ahí va. Ya, vete, córrele.
Cállate, que no llego and you're already calling me.
Bueno, no te hablé, güey. Tú pitaste.
I was surprised.
I know, I always call
Faltan
you,
10
huh?
minutes. Where are you? Ya no llegaste.
Pues sí, pues tienes que llegar a tiempo.
Mm,
I tell everybody to be here early. Y llegan. Yeah, yeah.
Fashionably late.
I'm the
you know what I'm
boss.
saying? I'm the
Yo voy a
boss.
llegar a la hora que yo quiera.
Damn.
As long as
Damn.
it's true.
Pues
I'm
no,
the spice in
nomás
this right
llega a
here.
sentarse, güey. Ya miraron, ¿no?
¿Qué, ¿Y
Nomás
qué
llega,
quieres que haga? ¿Que me ponga a bailar aquí o
nomás
qué?
llega, se sienta ya, mira, pum, pum, y ya.
¿Qué quieres que haga?
Nomás se quiere ver bonita, ajá, pinche vieja loca.
Why are you hating?
Nah. All right, let's go back to
Why you
Miguel,
mad, bro?
Let's go back to the traffic. Let's get back to the traffic
Te
engineers,
la voy a
man.
aventar esa botella aquí.
Pórtate bien,
Yo
Brenda.
siempre.
All right, so what else can you tell us about your
Man.
degrees, man?
Man, so I'm out here, dude. I can't believe it sometimes. I'm out there driving around. I'm getting, well, I am working, but my office is like the entire city. That's like dope, in my eyes.
So are you out in the field like
Everywhere.
every day?
Yeah. As most days, some days I'm not. Some days I'm over here at desk jockey, just fucking sending emails and shit. But yeah, dude, my job is citywide. So if it's something on the south end, something on the north end, something in every end, as long as it's within the city limits, right?
So you went from destroying the streets to taking care of them.
That
now?
is a lie. I did not destroy
Hey,
anything.
that was a good
I
one,
did not
Brenda.
destroy anything. Yeah, but it is weird, like as an example, you've seen colonias under construction, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's my job to go over there and check all the striping, like all the road markings.
Todo lo que hicieron tus amigos, you gotta go
Todas
fix it now.
las marcas, yeah. And then, what's crazy? That project that has a bunch of ADA improvements, right? The
Yeah.
Sierra Ruedas. And that was needed. They're doing it in front of Javi. I mean, a little too late. He's RIP right
Yeah.
now, but that's the kind of stuff we take for granted. Like you go to Mexico and you see a pinche banqueta. Imagine doing that shit.
Yeah,
But
I
you got all
know.
the fucking steps are like
Yeah,
It's
ya todos
true.
están para arriba, ¿verdad? Sí.
ADA my ass over there, nothing.
Yeah.
Javi tenía, like, él solito hizo su rap, ¿no? Como, like,
Yeah.
Su
con-
jefe.
¿Su jefe?
Su
yeah,
jefe
I
se la
remember
hizo,
that.
RIP. Yeah, su jefe, Don Toño, right? La hizo de pinche pipa and shit, and then tablas, that shit fucking worked.
Yeah.
That's respect to the señor, he fucking made that shit happen. Yeah, they were fucking dope, that right there. Yeah, but so that's the kind of stuff my hall is, So I'm walking around. I'm like, as soon as I'll go from City Hall and I'll walk over, I'm like, damn, that's a trip. This is my job. Like I'm tripping out. Like this I'm getting paid for this. I'm
Yeah,
walking
boy,
around,
you work hard for it, man.
and I see Crackhead Smash, Tom Cubo, and he's so just hanging out. And I see fucking that fool that hangs out over there in front of Ben's, fucking not Ben's, that fucking store. They're drinking pistos over there, tall boys.
Does that ever make you think, like, damn, that could have been me?
Yeah, of course, all the time. Yeah, that was me last week.
Ay, yo no dije nada, ¿eh?
Hey,
I didn't
you were
say
having
that.
a Benz moment, huh?
Man,
A Benz episode, huh?
God damn.
It
Le
was a
vamos a
hell of a
cambiar
day.
el nombre allí.
hell of a day. But yeah, no, for real though. Like, I mean, there's times when I'm out there, I'm out in the field, and I'll see people I know, and they're like straight up, they're lost.
Damn.
They're
Like
bums.
people you grew up with.
No, yeah, I've seen people I grew up with. I remember I was at a job site, and I'm checking it. Because I manage projects too, right? So I'm managing this project. They're building a pathway over there on Johnson Creek Park. It was like a little pathway they added 4 feet for it was for part of a bike facility. So I'm there, and then just chilling. I'm with the contractor. We're talking about construction, X cosa, and I see fucking homie over here. He has a little carriola or whatever the fuck
Un
wagon
carrito.
with a fucking cat on a leash. And what the fuck? And what's up, fool? And I'm like, I went out of my way. Everybody's looking at me like, oh, so you fucking know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know him. And like, oh, what's up? And they look at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yes, I know this fool. What's going on? And he's like, oh, look, I have money. He showed me a fucking app. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, all right, cool, I guess. And I'll drive around. And I say like, all right, and then I'll see people I know, fucking zombies, and then
Damn.
they're out there walking around, and I'm like, well, I know that guy, and they look at me like, fuck, you know that guy? I'm like, yeah, I sure do. Pinche coreano and shit, like whatever, white guy or whatever it is. They're like, okay. They're fucking weirdos. You know? So it's like, it is what it is. I'm a product of the city. So now I look at it, it's like, I didn't become that, thank God. But
but you decided to make the change, dog.
life comes down to yeses and nos. Do what you say yes to, what you say no to.
Yeah, choices.
Bottom line, dog.
Choices, right?
Everybody
Choices.
got choices, dude.
It's
Everybody
true.
got
Equal
choices.
fucking E40.
Yeah.
That's fucking true, dog. That's a fact because, bottom line, I made the choice to change my life. Nobody fucking told me, hey, check this out. I had zero connections. I had, dude, I had professors telling me, no, you just quit, dude. Just quit. And that's not for you. I've had, you know, every type of failure you could think about, whether it was a class or you name it, but I didn't give up. I was more stubborn than my failures were. So
Yeah.
I didn't give up, and I'm not even there yet. I'm not even at the zenith of what I could become. I'm not even there yet.
Well, but at least you already started it, man. You're already in. You got one foot
It
in already.
That's the crazy part about it is that now where I'm at, I'm like, look at it, I'm like, man, that's pretty good. I better keep going, kind of shit. And I feel good about it because now, like that dude in his 30s, dude, que andaba chingándole, güey, fucking paid off. So I'm glad.
Okay, so when you applied at the city, right?
Hmm.
Did your old records and all that did it affect you, or did it play a factor
Well,
in the hiring process?
I expunged everything.
Okay.
So they were all misdemeanors. I have zero felonies on my record. So I expunged it. I did it myself. I went to the courthouse. Like this form they give you, and then I just filed an expungement or whatever, and they approved it, and then it got removed. But really, we're just like a Google search away. People can find out stuff about us. If you Google my
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
if you Google my name, my first and last name, and Oxnard, whatever, things will come up. And if you scroll far down far enough, you'll be like, oh shit.
Era el del carrito.
Pórtate bien, güey.
El del carrito con el gato.
Yeah, dude, you know what I'm saying? Pasa nada.
Sí.
But for the most part, dude, like I don't even fuck, like social media is fucking cringe. I don't even have a LinkedIn, so I just want to be visible through LinkedIn, and I don't do anything else. Mainly because, you know, I don't fault anybody who do social media, but it's just at this point I'm already like locked in, into a profession, and I take it serious, and I love it, and I never knew that I was capable of this, because I had nobody in my ear telling me.
Mm.
Sure, I was in gate with Danny, sure, we had good mentors and all this, but it wasn't enough. Bottom line, because we're, como dice mi jefe, en el país más poderoso del mundo, we're out here fucking invading Venezuela, dude. And shit.
Yeah.
But, bottom line, no, real talk, we're like in a very prosperous country. And then, we shortchange the next generation, you know, maybe for ignorance, not knowing. But bottom line, I think we need to pass this message on to the next generation. And because you go to other cities and all this, with different communities, they have these little fucking STEM activities, science, technology, engineering, mathematics stuff. It's incorporated into the culture of the community. And right here, what we have incorporated is cagapalismo.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Cagapalismo is a good way to say
I'm
it.
just like, like, okay, yo cago el palo, you guys were witness to it, and it's there for everybody to see. But bottom line is, I think that we need to, like, step it up, and we're all capable of it. God
Like,
gives.
don't let that yeah.
Don't let it define you.
Yeah.
Don't let it define you. And just because, oh, my dad, he used to be abusive to my mom. All right, now I'm gonna
Mhm.
be a fucking loser.
Nah,
Mhm.
nah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
We're better than this.
But a lot of people do that, dude. It's like, oh, es que mi papá es bien
They're just
borracho. Por
fucking
eso
weak
yo
fools, man.
esto.
Weak-minded
And my
fools,
mom
huh?
this, cause that. It's like, dude.
Like, do you want to be stuck in the same fucking?
A lot of people do, and they just use that as an excuse to stay stuck where they are.
Yeah, it's just excuses, because
No, it is excuses at the
bottom
end of the
line
day.
is like a man has to be a man
Yeah,
and a woman has to be a woman.
they need to play their roles, dog.
And a man needs to just I'm not saying que yo soy una bien paradota, but we gotta just like step up, and stop acting like, it's not don't act with feelings, you have to be
Don't be a
logical,
bitch about it,
and
man.
let the women be the nurturers and the emotional ones, and that's fine because we complement each other, and it's beautiful when there's a family unit. It's like boom, it's like chef's.
Pero ves, mira, what were you saying yesterday? Ay, que dijiste que las girls, que you guys are too, I don't know what, and it's like,
You guys wanna act like a fool, man.
because men don't
Sometimes.
act like men. So we have to bring out that
but
masculinity
see,
or whatever the
hey,
heck you
but you
call
guys
that.
already have that in your cabeza. So every
No,
man you deal with,
no,
you're gonna
that
pull the
no,
same
that's
fucking
not what it
card.
is. It's just unfortunately there's very little men right now. BS aside, there is very
That,
little men right now.
they're
A
out
lot
there.
of no, I'm pretty sure,
They're just taken.
pero creo que son muy poquitos los que sí piensan así como estás diciendo tú. Like, you gotta let the girl be the girl and you be the man. There's a lot of men right now who want to be treated like a fucking girl.
They want like skincare routines and
It's
shit.
true. Like, no quieren hacer nada, quieren que les hagan todo. And it's like, dude,
No, ahí sí está
like,
mal.
how do you want a woman
To
to
be
to
like,
be to be chill, to be calm, to be if you're not providing peace for her.
Yeah, that's our job. That our job is to lead the home. Danny talked about this last time, and it's a fact. I couldn't have said it better than Danny. But bottom line, it's all true. We just have to stick to our roles.
Yeah.
And some of us didn't have that. I didn't necessarily have that. Because I came from a broken home. But bottom line, we can't let these deficiencies in our lives define our path forward.
Yeah.
but if you come from a broken home, that doesn't mean you're gonna do the same thing, right?
No.
A lot of people, like she said, a lot of people still do it.
But
It's just
that's
within the
just an
culture.
excuse though.
Yeah.
Yeah, puras fallas. So so I had to fucking man up. Like I had to man up in life, and then that's the only way out of
Hey, what was
anything.
it hard for you to make this change?
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't
And
easy.
I don't want to say
It was needed though, for sure,
it
right?
was
It
needed.
was needed.
It was needed, yeah, because I always knew, like bottom line is like untapped potential, and I had to fulfill my potential, which I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. I'm like I'm still building, whatever I want to become, but to get here, you let me know a lot of gotta do that. How the fuck? That's gonna take a long time,
It-
a lot of effort. I had to fucking.
it-
You have to pay for college because college is cuesta dinero. Pero yo me hice la idea, and then I worked through college, and I paid for that shit. The day I graduated, I had no fucking student loan debt, zero.
That's good.
I didn't know shit, but eso sí andaba trabajando como un pinche idiota. I didn't have a life.
So it wasn't hard.
I,
I mean, it wasn't easy. Like
it
it,
wasn't
it, it
easy.
was very hard for you to.
Yeah, dude, it's always a challenge. It was a challenge. It was definitely.
So how long did you go to school and work? How long did you do it for?
I did it for like solid, como 6 or a little bit over 6 years, maybe seven
Well, that's
years.
a good
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah, yeah. Because I remember I was working full time, and then I would take classes here and there because I transferred. Right, I was going to community college. I would take a class here, fail one here, take a semester off. So like stretched it out. But I didn't give up. It was a fucking marathon for sure. So eventually I took. I went. There's this website. It's called assist.org, and it tells you whatever public university you're gonna transfer to, depending on your major. It'll tell you what classes you could take at the community college level because community college tuition fees versus university fees are almost like 10 times difference.
Oh shit! So it's big difference.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude, you're talking about a few hundred versus a few thousand.
Thousands. So it's not easy for people to pull it off.
Some people think it's FAFSA, dude. So with FAFSA free application for free federal student aid, that shit'll that'll pay for a lot of your community college stuff. So if you want to be like economical, you go to community college. If you're a talent, get scholarships, go straight from high school. Or I think the ideal path would be as a high school student to go like a middle college, and you could take college courses while you're in high school and get a head start. That way, by the time you graduate, you already have a head
See,
start.
but these are things that people are not aware of.
Dude, I learned there is a middle college in
Because
Oxford.
I didn't know
You know
that.
what? I was just talking to my coworker today about that. She's 19. So se acaba de hacer graduate from high school, and her sister is a junior, I believe, or senior in high school. And she was just telling me about that. Her sister's going to high school and she's taking college classes already. So she says that the goal is that by the time she graduates high school, she'll graduate college too,
Oh shit!
That's
which
fucking
is cool. And
badass.
it's like,
Yeah.
dude, like you said, a lot of us, unfortunately, and again, because
See,
of the way
like
that our
you
parents,
used to like school. If you would
pero
have
yo no
known this,
sabía eso.
yeah, if you would have known this back then, you
Yo-
probably would have been on another
Pero
level
yo no
now.
sabía, no, pero también you know what, a lot of the reason why I feel like I didn't continue my
Oh, because you were
education.
working at a
No, it
young
wasn't
age,
because
no?
of that. It was because I wasn't born here. So yo no tenía un social security when
Sí,
I was
sí.
in school. I mean, for people, I mean, ahorita there's obviously it's different,
Yeah.
I mean, I could go do a bunch of shit, but now I'm a mom. Now, I have other stuff. Thank God, I still continued my education. However I could, I did it. But at the time, cuando yo hubiera querido, yo no tenía esa opportunity. Yo no podía. you know? And it's like, and this is also probably it helps people who
Well,
grew up the way that
but
I
look,
was, or
you were not able to go to school, do that,
but I
or do
still went
anything
to
because of
school.
that, but you were able to work.
No, but I still went to school. I still got certified. And it's like,
See, so
tú
there's always a
piensas,
way, man,
no, there
to
is a
get
way,
it done. Yeah.
pero creo que sí tuve a lot of limitations. I think I could have
No,
gone further.
obviously.
I mean, I could do it now, but if I could go back and if I had the opportunity then that I have now, I think I would have furthered my education. Pero no podía. It's like, dude, cuando estás tratando de entrar a college and it's like my parents couldn't afford it. I wanted to apply for these loans or for
Well, you
FAFSA or
couldn't.
whatever. You couldn't. Why? You don't have a social security. A ti no te van a dar nada.
Yes.
You know? So it's like, but then also our parents didn't know about these things. Even the kids who could have, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids don't know still right now that you can do these things. We're so uneducated, we're
No,
so
yes, we are.
ignorant, we're so close-minded. Como dijiste tú, estamos tan cerrados just in our little bubble that we feel
And
like
then
there's
it's
no
all,
more out there
yeah,
for us,
it's all part
dude.
of our culture.
Yeah.
It comes from there.
Lamentablemente,
Sí.
it comes down to culture. I remember I was with one of my mentors, a traffic engineer, es un coreano, and he was telling us, we was talking to me. By us, I mean me and my coworker, and he was telling us that he was trying to explain to us what the problems were with traffic right here
Mhm.
in Oxnard, and we were looking at it, whatever it was, and then he said, I'm gonna say it in his accent because he has a Korean accent. He's always kosher. And it's like, fuck, it stung. Like he said, it's culture. Like, damn, I'm like culture. Like, what the fuck you trying to say? And then and I thought about it, let that marinate, the idea, and it is culture.
It is
It
culture.
is culture because
A lot of our problems has to do with fucking culture.
we accept it.
Yeah.
We say it's fine. I'm
The
not. Hey, you know
people are
what?
just too prideful, man. They're too stuck to the roots that they don't grow.
You just have to
They
go. You
don't.
just have to humble yourself. Bottom line, everybody makes
You
mistakes,
have to let the past go, man, and focus on the future.
and that's like a big part of my story, dude. That I let all that shit go, dude. Everybody who wronged me, for example, I did it to myself, but PD, I forgave them. I work with them now directly, and not that it was not personal, but in my mind, I had to like let that go, and now I'm an asset to them.
Yeah.
I help them
So
out.
they depend on whatever you contribute
Well,
to.
That's so funny.
What?
Well, that what he's
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is like, dude, first you gave them trouble, now you're helping them take care of trouble.
Yeah, no, well, not trouble is like traffic stuff,
No, yeah, but still, I mean,
you're right, right, trouble, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then like, I never, my standing is
Could avoid
good.
accidents and a lot of stuff, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So a lot of it is like now I let a lot of this stuff go. I forgave people who quote unquote wronged me, people who fired me, X cosa. I went up to this dude that fired me, and when I was with my other job, and he was there where I was at. I was working at the airport, and I saw him at one of these like fairs, and on the air show, and I was there. And I saw him, he saw me, and I told him, and I shook his hand, and I told him, hey, I just want to thank you. And he looked at me like, what the fuck are you thanking me for? I fired you. That's what he's probably thinking. But I told him, and he's like, for what? And I told him, for giving me an opportunity. Mind blown. I fucking blew his mind. Because technically, he knew what he did. He fired me. It was not justified. It was justified in the numbers and efficiency, so to speak, but the full story wasn't there, and he just fucking asked me, but he in fact he made me because it wasn't a lesson, it was a blessing. I took that shit as
Yeah.
a positive, cup half full, I'm gonna rest you, and it fucking made
it's like
me.
if you wouldn't have fired me, I would have never
You
like
would have never been what you
yeah.
are now.
Exactly,
Yeah.
See, at the
exactly.
moment, we might look at it wrong, but sometimes it's the
But
best thing that could
hey,
happen to you.
yeah, it's true. I think the
It
things
depends.
that were
It
more
depends how you take it too,
I
how
think
you
but I
react
think
to
the
it.
things that we're most scared of are what really like push you to like your you know.
If you're
But
not
it's like brush it off, man. It is what it is. Boom,
if you
amárratelos and keep going.
if you don't feel fear in you when you're doing shit, if you don't like
You're not
you're
yeah.
not doing shit.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta like que
agree.
Hey,
duela,
man, I
güey.
always say fear is normal, and we're supposed to
I
feel fear,
agree.
but it should never. You should never let it control you.
Well, think about it, dude. Back in the days when we were fucking out there, fucking
Yeah,
nomads and shit, we were out there hunting and shit and all
yeah,
this. So if you don't think those motherfuckers felt fear like a saber-tooth tiger's gonna come and kill them and
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
that's like no, we're wired that way, dude. That's what I think. I'm probably wrong, but I think it's a little primordial, because that's what keeps us going, and keeps us striving.
Yes.
We're not out here hunting for fucking dinner anymore, but now
Yeah.
we're on a hustle. We're in a system.
But it's still in our nature.
It is in our nature. Yeah.
Hustle time.
yeah, it's like it's not just yeah, dude, we're just humans, bottom line,
The
you
thing
know.
is, when you want something, man, go for it all the time. Don't fucking be scared to do it. If you have the idea, the vision, man, you're the only one that can make it happen. Nobody else is gonna do it for you.
Bottom line, dude. That's why I was giving you guys kudos. I was on autopilot last week, but I was telling you guys that I was telling you guys
No,
that
he
Autopilot.
was.
I
He
was
said he was our number one fan.
Güey.
no,
Güey, ya ni te quería que Brenda ahora, era, güey.
no, but
I was like, you know what? If they're drinking again, I'm not
uh,
gonna go. Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't say
fair
that.
enough, fair enough. But I was at least being honest. I do see something here. I
Yeah.
see, like I was saying chemistry, but really what I meant was that
No,
dynamic.
yeah, yeah,
You guys work. I mean, clearly you guys know each other, right? Both of you know each other, and there's a platform here where you guys could talk about hustling. Talk about just talk, because that's where the capital's at. You're the brand, you're the commodity. Both of you, that's where the money's at.
yeah.
You guys are what's for sale.
Ah,
And if
cabrón.
and
No es
well,
cierto, eh.
not like that.
Ey, ya ves, tú me querías regalar, güey. Este güey te quiere
Not like
vender.
that. Wrong choice of words. Bad choice of words. Bad choice
Nah,
of
nah,
words.
I get it.
No,
I
we
get it,
get
loco.
it.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So that's the way I see it, and that's what I learned, because I feel like big part of what I'm paying the bills with right now had to do with that little piece of paper I got. I mean, una putiza para agarrar.
Mm-hmm.
But what really they're paying for, they're not paying me to be an engineer. They're paying me to be Miguel
Yeah.
Guillen. That's what I'm getting paid for. And that's the game I got from a fucking engineering course, believe it or not. Uh, this fucking engineer was I went to San Jose and shit to like a course, a fucking week-long course, and that's all I took out of that shit. That guy said, they're not paying you to be engineer. You're paying you to be
To
you.
be you.
And I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck,
They,
that
they, okay,
motherfucking game.
then why go through all that trouble, man, to
It,
get that piece of paper?
It's not just a piece of paper. I was going to that. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
man,
ahead.
yeah.
No. Go ahead.
Another piece of paper, you're right. I think a lot of these pieces of papers are probably not very monetizable, but like certain piece of papers are.
Yeah.
But yeah, the engineering degree, what did it teach me? It taught me how to think, how to problem solve, right? Because I was doing all these math problems and all this shit. But really, you're just wiring your brain to solve problems, right? And then it's like it's teaching you a process, right? Kind of sort of, but you don't even know. And now, like technical degrees, whatever technical degree you may be
Mhm.
taking or whatever it is, unless you're like taking like some shit like Chicano studies, like what are you gonna do with that shit? Like Chicano studies,
Nah,
you tell me what are you gonna do with that shit?
Nothing.
nothing.
I go fucking, whatever. Point is that you gotta study something that's monetizable. I'm not gonna go fucking learn dance. What am I gonna do with that shit? I can learn how to dance and fucking make it pay like that.
And movies.
No, we gotta be realistic
Mover el
too.
bote allá, ¿verdad?
We gotta be realistic too. We can't go study stupid shit that's not monetizable. But there's technical degrees, because originally I wanted to go into the medical field. Originally,
Okay.
I wanted to be like X-ray tech. But when
Oh.
that shit fizzled out,
They
I
make
had to
money
move on.
too.
Them motherfuckers make money.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Yeah, there's in the medical field. Damn.
And it's so chill,
No
honestly.
manches. Isn't you told a story about that, right?
Yes. I think we were talking about
El viejón ese que te dio el jali, que sabe qué, y que
The
isn't it?
Dr. Ty or whatever.
oh Dr. Ty. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who sent me to school, who helped me pay for my school. But honestly, like, I mean,
Going back to the paper, you were gonna say something, so it's not just the paper.
it's not, it's because see, you can view it like that. And there's ahí es donde the way you want to view things comes into play. Él está mirando ese piece of paper like fuck, this is
It's a
what
life
made
changer,
me,
huh?
man.
Changed my life.
This is what made me. Y todo, you're just like, esto qué, like this ain't shit.
No, look, I recently started school too for the contractor thing, right?
Yeah.
Y también it's just you just have to go and get licensed, dude. But it's not much about the trade. It's like they just want you to be registered so they could collect too. At least that's in my end of what I'm doing.
Let me
That-
ask you
that's-
this. Let me
that's-
ask you this. Is money just paper?
No.
The same thing.
Yeah.
That little piece of paper is worth money. But you know what? All that thing saying is that, all right, this dude's not a scumbag, and he's gonna be responsible.
He put in the
Yeah.
work.
Put in
That's
the
what
work.
it says.
That's all it is.
Yeah, they told me this. All you need is a D to become a fucking business owner and have all this. And then why go like people go through a lot of shit. Like for me, what I'm doing, all I need is a D to pass the state test, right?
Okay.
And then I'll get certified, I'll get my
Because
license and everything.
It depends on what you're trying
Yeah,
to become.
that's true.
I mean,
Depends on what field you're in, right?
yeah, I mean, and I'll just put this as an example. You can be a babysitter at your house. You don't need no freaking certificate, no nothing. That's fine. Go take care of 5 kids. Charge $20.
Yeah.
But then you go and pay your fees, you get these certificates, you do all this crap,
So
whatever.
that so
My
that
sister's a daycare provider. She went and did all her things. She paid a few $1,000s. She got her pieces of paper, but guess what?
it's
She's
paying
she's getting paid like triple the amount that these people are getting just because of that piece of paper. Why? Because she went and she took the
because
courses.
you're
She went and took the
certified.
classes. It's just putting in the work so that your work can be ¿cómo
But
se
like
dice?
validated or
Or
It's
valued
a,
at a
yeah,
higher price,
yeah, validated and
for a
valued.
lack of
It's
words.
both. It's both. Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
dude, do you think that what you do is worth freaking
and
$10 an
no,
hour?
and you
No.
know what? It's true. Yeah, I have to agree because before I started going to school, I'm learning now because I do it online and stuff. But you charge less, man. Now with this, I'll be able to take it to 3 4 times more, man.
Yes, we were talking about this with my dad the other
Yeah,
day. You said it yourself.
yeah.
What type of things happen to you because of
I
not
didn't.
having a piece of paper?
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
You
True.
want to avoid all those things. Like you have that
Yeah, I was just
paper
telling them
to
earlier
back
the
to
reason
back.
why I decided
Yeah,
to sign
you
up and
have that paper to
go
back
to
you up
school.
and to be like, hey, I work for my shit. I earn this. You're gonna pay me what I'm asking for.
See, like me, they don't want to pay me, right? But what I learned yesterday, I was in class. They said you could put like a lien hold on that property, man. Well, yes, everything has to be legally. Like me, I have my license. They don't want to pay me. All right,
Mhm.
motherfuckers. Then we'll take it to this
Yeah.
level.
It's
But
a,
we're gonna collect one way or another. I couldn't do it because I didn't have it, and they they,
Okay.
they took a lot from me.
So see, it's not just a piece of paper.
Yeah,
That's
that is,
that's what's gonna back your ass up.
yeah.
That piece of paper.
Go to school, kids.
yep.
Honestly, and
It
it's
doesn't
never
hurt.
too late.
It
It's
Yeah.
doesn't.
never too late. And you gotta, I mean, if you already went to school, go back to school again. I always say, like, dude, I have this certificate, I have this license, I have this. I still want more. I want something else. Why? So that if I get tired of this job, then I can go get another one.
It's never too late, but start early though. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, but
it doesn't hurt to start early. Speaking of
but it,
the
it
children,
comes back to support too. Well,
hundred
if you want to
percent,
start early.
100%. But there's plenty of resources out there.
I was gonna say that.
Who wants to ask a question? I'll help somebody out. I don't have all the answers, and I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I know somebody's gonna value my input.
Mhm.
So at some point something's got to give. We got to just break that mold and just elevate the culture, right? Because that's what I want. That's what I want for my next my child. I want that.
I was gonna get to that conversation. Speaking of children, and because of the messages that you're bringing, I was gonna ask if you had kids. So you just said that you have one kid.
I have a daughter. Yes.
Okay. What changes have you made or what have you taught her differently than what you learned when you were growing up? How
Or,
can
or,
I
or, or what are you teaching her? How are
como
you guiding her?
que algo that you learned that you're making sure she's not learning aside from the fact that okay, just don't be a gang member, don't be like qué le estás haciendo instill tú a ella that you feel is gonna
Make her a
make a
better person.
change than what it did, yeah, or make her a better person
So
than
pretty
it
much
did
put her
you.
in a better place at a younger age.
What are you like? ¿Qué changes hiciste o estás haciendo, or what difference? I don't know how to
How am I?
word it. You know what I
You're
mean? Like
asking how am I being different than
then
how am I bringing her up different than what I
Than
the
what
way
I
I
yes,
was,
was
like
yeah.
taught?
what kind of things, and like
So I'm just present, really. I'm
Oh, that's
present.
good. I
And
think that says
that
it all.
alone, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I try to expose her to things that I wasn't exposed to,
yeah.
right? And then I think a big part of it is just like being exposed to things that were not normal. Because my parents, they're not from this country. They're born in Mexico.
Hmm.
They don't know the language, and they're doing blue collar jobs. Nothing wrong with blue collar jobs, but I'm trying to just show her, there's another way. Like I'm investing in her because she's a worthy investment,
Yeah.
and I know that these things will pay off, and bottom line, I want her to elevate, my bloodline, right? I
Yeah.
want her to, because I can only take her to a certain point, and she's gonna do whatever she wants.
Yes,
Ya
I
me dice
agree.
say that, ya me dice say that, pero when I hand her off to whoever she's gonna end up with, I want her to make me proud, because that's what I'm really preparing her for, to
Hmm.
take on whatever name she takes on, to honor that name. and that's it. And just do it once and be done with it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Just
That
do
I
it
mean, that's my
once.
goal. Y que sea una buena mujer, and that's it. Right now she's a little child, and it's cute, and
Well, maybe in
she's
the future she'll see this video.
Hey.
maybe she won't.
Maybe she
I don't
will. Maybe
know.
she won't. I
Maybe
don't know.
I just sometimes yo me hice la idea de que in my head que she's like she doesn't she doesn't I'm just dad and whatever.
Do you mind sharing how old she is?
She's 3.
Oh, está
Yeah, she's a
chiquita.
little girl. Yeah,
You
but
think they don't watch with my son, but he knows I do it. That fool will be right
You know
there
what? You'd be surprised. Kids are
keeping up with
smart. We
everything.
were talking to my dad when we went to Texas about when we were kids, right? They're here drinking and stuff, and I feel like now as adults, he feels more comfortable to open up to us than when we were kids. Él, my dad, like él no
Yeah,
era el tipo de persona that he's gonna show like
his feelings.
feelings, emotions, no nothing. And now he's like opening up, right? So he started sharing like, oh, yo hacía esto, when you guys were little, and it's like, we knew that already.
So you guys were aware of it.
I was like, I remember I saw you doing this and this and this and that when I was this old. Y se queda como. So it's like you'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure your daughter knows more than you think she does,
she knows a lot.
And kids are smart right now.
What
Like,
in the world? She trips me out. Kids are a trip because
yeah, kids are.
they're a sponge, and I've heard multiple people saying this, and now that I'm living it, I'm like, well, damn,
Sí, es cierto.
las cosas que dicen, las ideas que sacan,
It's a lot different than when we were kids, huh?
I almost want to say, maybe,
I think so. I
It
think
is, but
they're more open.
pero es
Than,
que they're being raised by people our
yeah,
age.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Sometimes I wonder, like sometimes I think like the whole saying, oh, like the hood is not what it used to be, as an example, right? And I know I'm kind of going
Yeah, no,
going
go,
back to
go
that.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It used to be crazier back then, but I'm gonna school of thought that there's nothing new under the sun. That everything's just
It's a
repackaged.
cycle, yeah.
Mhm.
It's
It's just
repackaged, and then we perceive it as like, oh, it was crazier back then. Oh, now they're smarter. I think it's the same thing. I think we're just noticing it because that's our children, and we're like seeing it, and we're like, oh shit,
Ahora
yeah,
sí te
true,
duele.
true.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
what
Now
I
it
mean?
affects you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So lo
You have a
sientes.
point there.
It's
So
true.
so that's I'm like kind of thinking that way. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just thinking everything's just a clever repackaging, and it's happened trillion times over the history of humanity. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, um, parenthood amazing, the best
Are
thing
you planning
ever.
on having more kids?
We'll see. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe. Ahí veremos. Yeah,
Un little
that'd be cool.
Miguelito ahí, güey.
That'd be cool.
Con la
That'd be
cabeza
cool.
rapada también, ¿o no?
Well, this is I had to throw in the towel. I had to throw in the towel. I'm
Like the fools from
"Oh."
what's it, Austin Powers, what is it? Que trae un pelón.
What is it mini me? You're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
mini or Dr.
yeah,
Evil?
yeah, yeah.
Dr.
There you
Evil?
go.
Yeah, Dr.
You
Evil.
know.
Yeah, no, I had to throw in the towel, and then you gotta know when to hold them and fold them. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm running out. It's a wrap.
So es not porque es cholo, eh?
No es porque quiere, huh?
It's all right.
He has to now.
Same haircut. I'm like, I have to go back to my roots.
Any message you want to give to the youngest man, that whoever checks in? Well, what advice can you give them?
Man, just whatever it is you're thinking of doing, there's a way to get there. Just look at we got Google now. We got the internet, but just look everything up. Think outside the box. Don't study if you want to go to school, don't study something that you look up the degree you're looking up and what kind of job is gonna get you. There's resources out there. We're out there. If you need somebody to kind of peep game, I'm available. We got plenty of people out here in the community who are willing to share a word of wisdom. Just reach out and don't stay in the dark.
And it doesn't matter your past, man, your past mistakes. There's always
Yeah.
a way. There's always an opportunity for you. Just do it. Push
You know
it. Look
what?
for
I
it.
think
Find it.
we're gonna have to host like how they have like like they call it a clinic, but it's like where they have all these like freaking businesses, like giving out, info
Oh yeah, that would be
to
cool.
like,
Yeah.
but make it
Like
about the kids. Have a bunch of
information.
kids, hey, I have this person here who's this. How did he get into that? Come and ask questions. Come and
Hey, 'cause
like
you know what? We could probably get somebody that's into whatever we're doing, man, and
there's a lot of people. Look at
we could start guiding them now,
Danny
huh?
hace una cosa, Miguel hace otra cosa. I mean, we're gonna have a couple people coming in still that are doing different things
No,
that I'm pretty sure,
that's a really
kids can
good
like
idea.
make it about the kids,
No, it is about the kids.
Yeah, like, hey, you want to come learn how to work at a dental office? Come and ask. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you where to go. If your parent can't help you, yo te ayudo. you know.
Because just by sharing knowledge, man, could open somebody's eyes.
Yes,
It
yes.
don't have to be money,
I think a
nothing.
lot
Just
of us
share
have
knowledge.
a lot of opportunities now that our parents didn't have, and
But you know what's another thing that we want to help. Maybe there's other people that are not willing to help, or before, like you had your doctor that wanted to help you, that opened a lot of doors for you. But there's a lot of people that hold
we
all that
we
information.
are the people wanting to help,
But
though,
that's why. But there's a lot of people that won't do it.
and it's okay.
Yeah, we all had that one like very
One
influential,
person that
Yeah.
very
that pushed you
influential.
to.
Yeah, or just like showed us something. Like I remember when I was in construction,
Mhm.
I was a laborer, right? I was a chalan, with la pala, and I was under a house, like digging a hole. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I digging a hole under a house? So I asked his name's Keith, the white boy, fucking señor, ya blanco, pinche animalón. I told him, hey Keith, call me Miggy. He's like, Miggy, come here. He showed me some plans, a structural plan. I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember that. And then he saw me all interested, and he gave me a physics book. It was a comic book, a comic physics book. And then like I'm just blown away. I still have that book. So these little things. He told me what I was doing. He just didn't tell me to do it, and he showed me a plan. He showed me different knowledge, and it stuck because that was a building block for who I am today. And I remember that dude. And me, I'm the kind of guy that thinks racism is kind of bullshit because that motherfucker was white and he would say racist shit, and I would eat with his family. So, me arrimaba con sus hijas y todos. And like, we're all racist,
Yeah,
So
we are even with our
we're
own people,
all
man.
racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like this white man, and that's kind of like, I'm like, it's all bullshit, because bottom line, that dude gave me game, and I carry that shit to this day. So, why am I saying all this? I'm saying because if you guys have access to the kids, and you guys are out there in little league games, homie Danny over here is just telling them
Father.
stuff, injecting confidence. You're involved with the kids. All that shit matters, dude. 100%. And if you could put people in front of them that have different areas of whatever they're doing, whatever kind of stuff they're doing in their careers, and then we give them that game, then they could listen to it and they could do whatever
Mhm.
they want with it. And if they need a mentor, who is ever down to mentor a kid, fucking go and show them shit.
Yeah.
Show them,
Yes, yes.
take them to wherever, show them how to, you name it,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing. And I think that's very important. I think we need to foster that culture. And then if we know that for a lot of people are lost causes, but bottom line, it starts with us. Like
It does
we,
start
we
with us.
we have to, even if the world's falling, that meme with the dog and everything's burning in the
Yeah, in the
background,
background.
we gotta be that dog. We got like everything's fucking burning
Que
in the
le vale.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vámonos recio. Aquí está ira, boom, and show them game. And
Yeah.
that's what we have to do. Because what, the future matters.
Yeah.
I don't, I think it's important that we keep the pressure on, and then we raise the bar.
Yeah.
The next generation, nah, don't be this, be this.
Mhm.
For whatever field you guys are thinking about.
There's always a way out the fucking hole, man. You
There
guys
is,
gotta figure
but
it out.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
Anything
for
else you
sure.
want to add, Cuz, before we leave?
no, I think it was cool, Thanks for being here. Um I think
Hey,
there's a lot of like helpful information that
yeah, they were saying que no te pueden escuchar, so we'll go back and check it out. If they didn't, we apologize. We weren't aware of that. We couldn't see the comments, so
but it's all right, guys. I was thinking about the name for that thing. It's a career clinic.
a career
That's what it's
clinic.
called.
Yeah, so we should do that.
And it's
Would you
like
guys be down to do it?
Holler, I'm
if
down.
if
Will you be down?
anybody
I'm
if
down.
anybody who's watching this, who hasn't had the chance to come, and if you guys would want to be part of this, we've been trying to do so many things, but it just hasn't played out the way we wanted it. Um,
It's gonna
so
happen.
it's
Dude.
it's one of the things that I think we've never really talked like what the real purpose was of Hustle Talk. But I think being a mom, to me, I mean, I would love it to just be about the kids, and
Push game,
I
yes.
think for the most part, everyone who's been here, a lot of the focus on our conversations have been about kids, about how we grew up and we don't want our kids to grow up. So I mean,
Yeah, like I said before, if they look up to us and like what we do, man, we were there. We were kid once, Like I
yeah,
said, we walked the same calle, same park, same schools. If you guys like what I do, what Miguel does, what Danny does, what Brenda does, man, this could be you. You just gotta do it. Go for it.
yeah. And if you need help, we're here.
Yeah. hit
you
us
know.
up.
But that's definitely something to look into, you
Yeah,
know.
we'll
And
look into it.
but we appreciate you coming, Miguel.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing, you know, your
Yep.
story, for talking to us about,
Ya nos
you know,
vamos.
Yup.
all this important info.
Yeah. Why, what do you want to say? You want to say
Okay.
something?
Get
A
out.
ver, a ver.
You took over my time last week. Let me take
All right. So,
Ya se las quiere
a
cobrar.
ver, se los va a cobrar Daniel. What do you want to say before we leave?
Okay, what's up? I will sit right here.
On the microphone, porque luego no lo escuchan.
No, it was a fucking mixture.
It said real men are alive and thriving.
Okay,
What do you have
so
to add?
I'm right here. This is a good episode. I'm always still here. I didn't go nowhere. Hold on, let me give out a few shout outs first. Shout out to Matt Jimenez, Oxnard Aces. He's putting in work with the baseball too. He hit me up about last week's episode. He gave me long props and he said he's enjoying the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's got his two girls, his boy, Steven. They're kicking ass down on the other side of town. Shout out to my barber.
A ver. Y el trasquilado.
No digas cuál.
The king of fades, fastest fades in the West Coast. And anyways, but everything Miguel was right, talking about 100% correct. Um, you know, people say knowledge is power. That's incorrect. Knowledge in action is power.
Yes.
You know,
Correction.
like GI Joe said, you know, knowing is half the battle. The other half is actually
Actually
doing
doing
it.
it,
Yes.
yeah.
Is doing it. If you ain't doing it, you know, que te ganas.
De nada te sirve. Yeah.
No, you know, your parents came over here for a reason, you know.
Yep.
Oh, Mexico está bien bonito. Until the mafia comes knocking. Hey,
Ajá.
güey, para protegerte, but you know, querías norte, come over here, go to school, pick a good career, start a business, be smart, marry the right woman. That's very important.
And for woman, marry the right man,
know,
right?
Woman, marry the right man. You know, we see this right now a lot, you know, especially like with athletes que se casan con esta jaina or whatever happens. The next thing you know, she's extorting them for money. Make sure you know you're meeting the right woman,
Like
you're meeting the right
A
man.
wise choice.
You know,
Even though sometimes te sorprende la gente.
you know,
Yeah, es
it's
que de primero es
It's
puro amor y
true.
luego puro putazo.
It's
eh.
true. It's true. Some people could fake the funk real good, you know. It's just.
yes, they can. Yes, they can. They'll fake it for like a year.
¿Tú
Maybe
crees
they'll get a
que si
prenup.
supieran like a ese le va a hacer eso, like se casan?
No, pues sí, es
you
que no
know,
sabes, todo
yeah.
viene con tiempo.
Try. So try to choose the right
Yeah.
partner.
Try, but do
Porque
your
está.
research. Like Miguel said, research a degree.
Ahorita social media, guys, they'll tell you everything you want to know.
Picking the right woman
everything.
is
Just
like getting
Google
the
right
right
there,
degree.
huh?
Yeah.
Picking the right woman.
is like getting the right degree. If you pick Chicano studies, we'll go back to that. It's like picking a high note with the 3 kids.
With
from-
the chongo, huh?
Four different
Walking down
guys.
Cooper, fool.
Yeah.
Hey, calmados, déjelas.
No disrespect, but you know what?
Déjelas. I'm a girl's girl. I got your
No.
back. No es cierto.
No, all respect to
Si las tratan
Good
mal,
woman.
leave their ass. Who cares if you're a single mom?
Yo me gané la lotería. Shout out to my wife Jessica. She knows what's up. She's watching right now with Diego.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
Gracias por dejarlo venir 2 veces.
Ey, para la otra ya no lo dejes, eh. Nah.
Para la otra, por favor, quédatelo en casa.
You know, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a hustle. We're hustle talk, right? Marriage, being married, it's a hustle. Every
Yep.
year, every day you wake up, you know, you gotta take care of business.
And you choose violence.
You can't let it die. Same thing, being a parent. Same
Yep.
thing. It's a hustle. You gotta keep it going. You gotta give that boy, you gotta give that girl that information that she needs to know, that he needs to know. That way, we our generation gets better. Because if my boy is not double what I am, then I failed as a parent, and then that continues. But we have to implement it into our culture.
Yes.
If our culture, if we're not changing, and I'm a culture changer, I had to change myself. You know, like I was telling the homeboys earlier. No, there was one night when you wake up at Gumby's house and you're like, "What the?
I never woke up there. Thank God. No me dejaron.
What am I doing?" And then you know, thanks to like my homeboy right here, like, "Hey, fool, go back to school. You know, do this, do that," and you need someone que te dejarle las orejas.
Que te pucha, yeah.
Una pinche chinga, unas nalgadas para que digas, "Oh shit," you know. And you know, speaking about like, "Oh, I did it my 30s, did it." No. You know, in the Bible it says 120 is our max. Read Genesis chapter 6. It says 120 years is our max.
So you have time.
So what does that mean? Half life is 60. We have the capacity to live to 120 years.
¿Ya ves, Caimán? It's time to
I'm
get
under
back
2
to
years.
school.
Pues
Obviously,
ya
it's
empecé.
No, the other
La
school.
otra.
la escuela de las calles.
No.
No, esa no.
Eso ya no, güey.
But but anyway, we're about to end the show, but let me end on this. I'm a big fan of comic books, and he was mentioning to me some stuff earlier that he collects, action
I actually
figures.
have a lot of comic books too.
Yeah.
A big old stack, fool.
And, I grew up on comic books. Me, when we were watching the Marvel movies with my wife, she'd be like, "How do you know the ending?" Because I read the comic books when I was a kid. I used to sneak into a pharmacy on the corner of First and A Street. Pull up, it's a beauty salon now. Pero antes era una farmacia, era un
Sí.
gabacho que estaba allí. I remember me metía bien escondidito, bien calladito. And the comic book rack was right by the entrance, and he'll catch me. One time he caught me, and he told me, "Okay, you know what? You can come and read all the comics, but come alone." And I will go alone. And I know the whole story, Captain America.
We could
Wolverine.
probably talk about this next time too.
Yeah,
Whenever
and
you
all
come
this,
back.
But let me see. Let me end on this.
No, su wife ya no lo va a dejar venir. We already told her.
Nah, we're cool. My wife's a grown woman. She knows what's up. She knows I'm spitting knowledge right here. I'm spitting knowledge. But in the Marvel universe, they got the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yep.
Cuando se la pone Thanos
Yeah.
y se van todos.
With all the Infinity
The
Stones.
Infinity Gauntlet, you put it right, and it has all the stones, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's a comic book. Eso no existe, but no, it does exist. And, every stone in that gauntlet is something that could represent our life now, right? We have, let's say, we have 5 fingers and then 6 in the middle, right? So 6 different stones. And let's count them right here together. First stone, your health. Without your health, you can't do nothing. Todo va a estar malo. Ya ves, nuestra raza padece de diabetes. Parece que they're giving it away at the corner. Hey, let me go get my diabetes.
Hey, it's the food.
Yeah.
Let me go get my diabetes.
Son los tacos
It's
que
the
nos
culture,
comemos
it's the culture,
from every
man.
freaking corner, man. That's all they're feeding us.
It comes
It's
back
true.
to the culture.
And I understand 100%, but see, the masses, 20% of our diet is tacos, and then the 80 other percent is good, clean food. We're good.
It will be it'll be a big
So
difference.
our health.
Ya ves?
The next one,
No burritos, güey.
Start eating healthy.
the next one, our knowledge. Lee libros. Listen to Hustle Talk. Get gamed up. Get some game.
Listen to Hustle Talk.
Listen to your big homie. Listen to your big homie. Listen to your jefe, to your jefa, to your abuelito, your abuelita. This is tu abuelito. No hagas eso, güey. No seas pendejo. All right. Oh, thank
It's
you,
true.
grandpa.
Pues sí, cierto. Se te mete por un ear y se te sale
That's
por
your that's
otro.
your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
The next one, your lady, who you marry, your vato, your jaina. Don't pick the wrong one.
Mhm.
Te va a hacer
Try.
daño. Te va a hacer daño. Y al rato vas a estar ahí llorando en el parque que te subieron el child support. I mean, you catch the homies right there. The homies are real tough over there, pero
Y
la
luego
jaina,
allá,
that's
it's
the
true.
third one.
Se creen bien fregones y
That's
luego
the third.
Sí,
cuando
sí.
andan allá es like, what happened? I thought you were gangster.
Hey, it gets the best of us. I'm not gonna act like I never went through stuff.
Why you laughing, Miguel?
What could be another one? What
What's
could
the
be
fourth
another one?
one?
So it's the right girl, right? The right environment. Like homeboy said, I changed who I hung around with.
Yeah.
If I'm the dumbest, if I'm the dumbest guy in the room, I'm in the right place. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, maybe I'm not. Or unless we're trying to educate the kids. So your environment. That's the fourth one. The fifth one, let's say, what the fifth one gonna be? Environment. What's the next one?
I have no idea. It's not
Well,
my
we
story.
I don't know about those stones either.
No, we can make it up right now. We're thinking it out.
Okay.
Right now.
You
Let's
you
see.
already told me.
I
told me
know.
this, but
Money,
Okay.
Yeah.
wealth, business, working, what?
Okay. Well, let's call it our ability to do things. SAS. Okay. Combining all the other things, it gives me freedom to do whatever I like. Whatever I can, whatever I could. Freedom. Boom. Fifth. And then the sixth one was the sixth one. The one in the middle, the one that Thanos needed in order to snap all those fools out of existence.
God.
The
God.
third one is Jesus Christ.
Yep.
The
God.
sixth one. The sixth one, sin Jesucristo.
Yeah.
Si saben estos cholos,
no,
mira.
no disrespect to anybody, pero estando bien con Dios, los santos
Yeah.
valen un cero a la izquierda, dijo Charlito
Yeah.
Sánchez.
That's
So when
true.
Jesus is right here in the middle, sas, you have the infinity gauntlet. Boom.
It's
What
true,
happens?
guys.
You become an engineer. Boom.
Yep.
You become an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Boom. You become
whatever you want to be.
Believing in God
better
doesn't make
yourself.
you
You
weak.
better
Believing
yourself.
in God doesn't make you
no. It doesn't.
everything people make it seem. It's not.
A lot of people have that wrong.
You can
huh?
still be a cholo and believe in God. You could still be hoochie and believe in God. Like
Hey,
You could change your life at any point.
honestly, honestly,
hey,
like
most of the homies at Victory Outreach, no disrespect to them.
wait, did you bring popcorn?
No disrespect to them, because I was on the block when they were barely starting that stuff. I remember I was a little kid and they used to do the plays right there on Cooper Road,
Mhm.
right next, right there in the parking lot of La Michoacana.
Ay,
They used
pero
to
son
have,
bien enfadosos.
you know what? But they're trying though. It's like, what's the difference between my message of go to school, get your engineering degree, get your dental
It's because
assistant.
sometimes they just
You
tell
know,
you, don't
what's
do it, but
that?
why not, fool?
What's the difference between that and me? Like, listen to Jesus, read the Bible, no fume marijuana, no
Pero
tomen.
I have a
You know,
question regarding that, okay? Because I feel like we have a misconception about these, for the most part, son guys, okay? Are they there like como si fuera un foster home for them? Or do these people have jobs and this is just like a church that they attend? I want to
well,
know that.
well,
Or if you guys know.
I kind of know,
Oh, okay.
because speaking of what Miguel said, like, you need something to snap you out of it. And if Jesus can't snap
So
you out
that's
of
what
it,
it is.
you
So it's like
be,
a rehab type of
Yeah,
thing?
you're a
you
lost
belong to
cause,
a
huh?
dark side. You belong to a dark side, and I've seen it. Like we were talking earlier with Caiman, when you're in the hood, you've seen it all. And I mean, shout out to Charlie. I talked to Charlie earlier today. Remember Charlie?
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Charlie. And I told him earlier today, I was speaking to him at the park, and I told him, hey, dog, I'm from the hood. Dog. Not that I'm in the gang, but I'm from the hood. Not because I chose it, but because that's where I was. That's where I was born and raised and
Yeah.
whatever. I had no ways of getting out. So we had to flip the situation into something positive. When everybody was trying to leave, moving to Bakersfield, so on and so on, I stayed right there, como dijo el perrito del Mimi, que está ahí todos se está quemando. And I'm just chilling right there, I'm just chilling right there and I'm still right there, but I seen it all. And you see the situations that our people go through. And when I mean our people, I'm talking about, people in my neighborhood, because
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got nothing in common with the people in Camarillo.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
agree.
closest I think I have in, the closest thing I have in common with them is I want to live good.
El
me gusta,
dinero.
me gusta todo lo bueno, no nací pa pobre, dijo Pedro Infante. I like, I like, I
Yeah,
like all the good stuff. That's the closest thing I have in common with somebody from Camarillo. But other than that, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm seeing all this stuff. I mean, I'm looking out the window and watching, Victory Outreach plays right out there. Homeboy's looking out his window, seeing the PD doing high space pursuits, and you're like, damn, what do I do? What do I do? I'm gonna go outside and hang out with the homies too. Next thing you know, you're right there. Oh, Jay Junction. Oh, you're on the curb. Sale tu mamá. Ah, pinche cabrón, ¿qué estás haciendo? You eventually figure out, oh, maybe this ain't for me. Maybe there's something else out there. You know,
There's a lot out there.
yeah. There's a
There's a
lot.
lot out there, guys. Open up your
Like I
eyes.
say,
Open
this
up your.
the world is too big, man, to be stuck in one fucking spot for the rest of your life.
There's
no.
so much out there than just where you come from.
And we
Honestly.
could break that with our kids. It's all about the kids. The east side is for the kids. I write on Instagram. I'm serious about that. I'm out at the park trying to be a mentor to the kids. We talked about it last week. But
They're the future.
let's change
Let's
it.
focus
Let's
on them.
let's let's make these kids better than what we had to. I mean, there's no need for my son to go through what I went through.
No.
Chales, and like Miguel said, all you gotta do is just be there. That's enough sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough. My
That
son wakes
actually makes
up,
a
I'm
big
right
difference.
there. He wakes up, I'm right there. Oh, what's up? Oh, I love you. First thing, my heifer never told me he loved me.
Yeah.
He told me he loved me last year. First time in
Apenas.
my life. I
Yeah.
was 40. I'm 43 right now. Last year, 42. He's like, hey, I love you, son. He gave me a kiss. Like, what the fuck?
Hey,
You
but
went
it's
through-"
never too late. He's learning
Yeah,
from you
yeah,
too,
yeah.
maybe.
And and now I have the opportunity every time my son wakes up, comes downstairs, I'd be like, I love you. I love you. I give him a hug, snuggle with him.
Yeah.
I tell him every day I love him.
Yeah. But if you ask your dad, I bet you his excuse, and I say
No,
excuse,
yeah.
¿por qué lo te va a decir? Es que mi papá a mí nunca me dijo que he loved me.
No, but
Y así se va the chain. It's because my dad, it's because my mom, and it's because this, and it's because that, You
uh,
gotta quebras la cadena, and
and
that's where it stops.
you like homeboy said, you have to make peace with certain things. You can't be this. I blame everybody but myself.
Mm-hmm.
My life sucks so much, and I'm gonna hold on to these
Mm-hmm.
old feelings. Charles, get it out of your head.
Let it
Yeah,
go.
keep it moving.
You become meek.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand the meaning of the word meek. In the Bible, it says, "The meek shall inherit the earth." And most of us, right away, we think meek. rhymes with weak. So that means you're
Weak
weak.
fools.
Weak ass fools. Como dice, homie, still sucking on chichi or
Yeah, to sucking chichi.
Well, it's not like that. What it is that look at this, and this is true for anybody that's in a family that's with their significant other. You want to be meek, and the leader has to be meek. And what meek means is that you're you're like that perrito again in the mimi, that you're
The
you hold
perrito.
it down in the
Poor
lumbre.
dog.
Yeah.
You know, we're roasting the perrito today, but you hold it down through anything, through the storm. Your emotions are intact. You're not flipping out. You're not using Instagram to like, oh, fuck this and fuck that. No, chales, you're being a vato, you're being a real man, you're being a real woman, you're holding down the family because you got the kids watching. We talked about it earlier. The kids are watching everything we're doing.
You know,
And
it's true. Like,
everything.
some people are still like, dude, se ponen ahí a pelear todavía. Like, they're in freaking junior high. You know,
Ya están canudos, ay, todavía
like, dude, change, switch it up. You know, your
Hey,
priorities.
hey,
Like,
¿cómo dijiste? Ya tienes peluche.
Ya tienes,
¿Cómo dijo?
I got a new one. Ya tienes peleas en el Coliseo.
All right, guys, we gotta go. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
thank
Hey,
you, Miguel. Thank you, Danny,
Hey.
for being here.
Hey,
Rest in peace to the
a
homies.
message. If you guys want to be successful,
Hit us
collect
up.
collect all the infinity stones, like he
Get
said.
'em.
All right,
Infinity
collect all
Highway.
the infinity
Get
stones,
'em all and
all
snap
of
those-
'em.
Snap those
and you guys will make it,
Oh,
right?
And
Yeah.
it's not
All
going
you
to
have
be
to
the
do is
ones
snap it, homie.
from
Let's get
Parque
it.
All
del
right.
Avión.
See you guys.
There's money out there.
Thank you guys
Let's
for
get it.
tuning in.
Buy
Have a good night,
property.
We'll
guys.
see you guys.
Don't
Good
buy
night.
Al rato.
Don't buy Escalades. Buy property. Don't buy rims.